All right, you guys. Well, happy Thursday. It's July 23rd. I can't believe that we're almost at the end of the month. We are here for our combined team calls. Rachel's team, Boom Squad, and my big team, Team Fitfluence and Power to Change, Team Grit, and everybody else that falls within that. I'm so delighted to have you guys here because we've been setting up the most amazing guest speakers, you guys, and we have yet another one. You know, we always got tricks up our sleeves, but a big thank you to Rachel for securing Virginia to talk to us. But let me give you a little bit of background because then I want to just send it right over to Virginia to dive in because, you guys, this month is all about inviting, which is obviously pretty a staple for the fact that it's the launch of MBF, and a lot of us are in the thick of it. A lot of us are seeing massive growth in our business, and we know that the invitation is the bread and butter of our business. So I'm going to let Virginia kind of break down a little bit more and you guys can hear from her, but let me just kind of give you an intro on her. This morning she was 10-star diamond, but forgot that she's actually 11-star, you guys, which is incredible because not only that, but she's a new Legacy Club member. Badass, girlfriend. That is amazing. So if you guys don't know what Legacy Club is, way back when it was the Millionaire Club. So you guys do the math. She's kicking ass in her business, and she is now a part of the Legacy Club member. So if you guys don't know what that is, go research it and what it takes to get there. It takes a lot of hustle, which she's showcasing as a 4-time elite coach. She's been a coach for 6.5 years, and she built her business while she was in pharmacy school. So she graduated with a doctorate in pharmacy and decided to kick that to the curb because she was working this full time instead since 2016. So I mean, I'm even impressed, and I've been around and seen a lot, and this is so incredible to see how your success has blossomed in 6.5 years. So thank you, Virginia. We're so excited that you're here with us. And with that, I'll just kind of fire it over to you so everybody can hear from you.
Yay, I love that. And I love that you're like short and sweet, like let's do the call in 30 minutes and then let's go take action, because that is totally all like what I'm about and what my business has been about over the 6.5 years. Like Taryn said, when I started coaching, I was a full-time student. I was in class like 9 to 5 pretty much most days. So my business was in pockets of time in the morning, at lunch, at nighttime. And what I spent the majority of my time doing was inviting. I was in my inbox, inviting to challenge groups, inviting to the coaching opportunity. And that is what's going to move the needle in your business. And I know, sorry, I got a call. And I know there's a lot of distractions right now, especially with Instagram stories. You feel like you need to put up a ton of stories. You feel like you need to hop on all these calls, and all of those things are also great. But you guys, if you only have 30 minutes to work your business, I need you to have your blinders on and focus on your business and be sending the invites and following up and staying in those DMs, because that is what is going to build your business. Hopping on team calls is great, but if you don't add action with it, then your business isn't going to grow. And I've seen that time and time again on my team. There's coaches that are awesome. Like they're showing up, they're posting on social media. Like you would think that they should be a premier or elite coach the way that they're showing up. But the missing piece of the puzzle is the invite. So I'm going to share with you guys just kind of my process on how I talk to people, how I track them, and what has worked really well for me. I'm all about keeping it super, super simple. So you may see this and be like, what? She's 10-star and this is all she does? Yes, because it is all about consistency, the follow-up, and talking to people. Like that is what it's about, you guys. And I feel like some people just miss that. So I'll show you guys my notebook. This is my baby. I have a notebook. And it's crazy that I'm in like the Legacy Club and this is how I run my business. So every month I have a new piece of paper. At the top, I put my why, I put my goal for Success Club, and my goal for how many coaches I want on my team that month. One side I put customers, one side I put coaches. So how somebody's name goes on this list is if they express interest. So if they click a poll, I'll send a message, hey, thanks for clicking my poll. Would you like more info? I'm not going to write their name down at that point unless they say, yes, I'd love more info. Then their name goes on this list, and I like to call this my hot list. These are the people that have expressed interest. They've said yes. I've sent an invite. They're like, yeah, send me more info. Maybe randomly, this doesn't happen very often, you guys, but sometimes someone will say, like, reach out to me without me inviting them and say, hey, I'd like more info about coaching, or I'd like more info about this program. Then their name is going to go on this list. So these are the people that are most likely to say yes. And I'm sending invites. I'm sending lots of invites, but I don't necessarily track all of my invites. I track the people who say yes to the invite. And so in this notebook, when you scroll back or flip back, here's May, and then here's April, and then here's March, and then here's February. So this is where I'm going. When I sit down to work and do my follow-ups, I'm starting at January, and I'm working back through all these people that at some point they express some type of interest. And then once they actually order, I just highlight them. So it may sound super, super basic, but my upline coach, who is also a legacy member, she does this. And I learned it from her, and the consistency and just having it super simple in front of you. You know exactly who you're following up with. You're writing down the names of people that are most likely to say yes. This is where I'm going to work my business. So if you don't have a system, try implementing this. This may not work for you if you're not a pen and paper person. Maybe you want this on Excel, but whatever system you have, you need to be consistent. You have to be writing names down. The first year of my business, I was all over the place. I had notebooks here and random papers here, and sometimes it was notes in my phone. And luckily I was able to do pretty good, but I know there were so many people that slipped through the cracks. So try staying with one system, whether that's on Excel or a notebook or in your phone. If you're on the go all the time, have a note section, but just be consistent with it. Make sure that you're writing down these names. Another thing that we do, myself and 2 other coaches, we've teamed up. We do a coach webinar once a month. And you know, your upline may already be doing this for you. If you've been a coach for a while, I'd encourage you to start doing it. Team up with some other coaches, just hop on, share your stories, talk about coaching, talk about common questions, concerns that you get, fears that people have before they start. Just get on and get that info into a video. Record it, put it on YouTube, because that way when you're sending the invites and they say, yes, I'd love more info about coaching, then boom, you have something you can send them right away. And I do think it is good when they can see your face. If your upline's doing it and they have videos, awesome. You can use those too. I did that for the first two years of my business, 2-3 years. I was using my upline's coach info video, but when I started actually speaking on my own, I feel like it was a better conversion rate because they see and hear me about my story and, you know, how coaching has worked into my life. So definitely have some type of video that you can send to people when they are interested in coaching so they can watch it, learn more about it. So I personally send a short one that actually Brooke Lipoff made. I can send it to Taryn. She can post it for you guys. I send that one. It's like maybe 6-7 minutes. I say, here's a quick overview of what coaching is. And then if you want more details, here's a longer video so you can check it out. So I send those 2 videos that they can watch. And then I usually give them about 5 days and I'll do a follow-up with them. Hey, did you get a chance to watch the videos? How did that go? Do you have any questions? Does it seem like something you'd like to do? And a lot of times, you guys, this isn't a short process. Like, I send that video and they usually end up signing up as a coach like 6 months later because it's a process. They want to continue to watch you for a while. You have to follow up. Maybe you're going to invite them to a challenge group in between there. Don't think that as soon as you invite someone, they're going to sign up as a coach. If they do, that's like magic. That's awesome. And you should be super excited, but know that that's not the norm, that it's a process. It takes a while to get people interested in coaching and to get them to sign up. So just have that in mind, because then when people are like, I'm not sure, you're not going to feel bad, right? You planted the seed. You know that you planted that seed and you hope that eventually it blossoms and blooms and they want to join your team. So that's the first thing for coaching. Make sure that you have a video. Number 2, talk about coaching, you guys. I feel like a lot of people are, and myself too, I'm great at talking about fitness, nutrition, challenge groups. Like that's what I fell in love with when I got introduced to Beachbody. So I feel like it's so easy for me to talk about that. Coaching was harder for me to talk about because in the beginning, you're like, I haven't had that much success. I'm kind of nervous. Am I a good leader? Doesn't matter. You know more than these people do. So you are a good leader, period. You know how to send an order. You know what a challenge group is. You know more than the person you're signing up. So don't ever have fear of signing people up. So talk about coaching on your stories, talk about coaching in your posts, make an effort to talk about coaching. If you go to your Instagram after this call and kind of do an evaluation. What are your posts about? Yeah, of course, you want to talk about other things, your life, your family, your dog, your kids, your fitness journey, but make sure sprinkled in there are some posts about coaching, whether that's the income, maybe you made extra $100 and that was able to go towards your student debt. Talk about that. Maybe, I don't know, you had a random bill for your car and you made an extra $100 with Beachbody and that helped you pay for it. Think about these different little things because there's people that are struggling, especially right now with everything going on. There's a lot of financial hardship. So even sharing about those small wins may resonate with someone, but you have to talk about them. And also take a second to just brainstorm, what has coaching done for you? It's introduced you to an amazing community. You have so much fun. I know for me, I'm way more accountable because this is a part of my job. Otherwise, I'd probably be asleep in the bed a lot of mornings and not wanting to work out, but we have our morning workout crew at 6 a.m. So I know that my team is counting on me as a leader to show up. So coaching has held me more accountable. It allowed me to step away from pharmacy. And I know these are kind of big things that happen over time. This wasn't what I was talking about in the beginning, but you can share about other people's wins too. If somebody on your team retires from their job, shout them out on your stories. Be like, look at this incredible teacher. She has become a full-time coach. I'm so inspired by her. One day that's going to be me. And shout other people out and say things like that. I know there's a post I made. It was Summit, maybe my third year. And, you know, social media was a little bit different back then, but in the post I wrote, like, I'm going to be a millionaire with this company, and I proclaimed it to the world. And it may have sounded crazy to people, but then the people that have been following me and saw me become a part of the Legacy Club, they were like, wow, you said that 3 years ago and you really went for it. So definitely talk about coaching in a lot of different aspects because you never know what's going to speak to someone. Maybe they want a community. Maybe they need the income. Maybe they need accountability. Maybe they're looking for another job. You just have no idea. So try and touch on all these different aspects of coaching when you're talking about it on your stories and in your posts. Another thing on Instagram stories, I've been using, it's called story art, and you can kind of take a picture and write below it. You can do this even on your regular stories. You don't need to use an external app or anything, but make some stories and save it to your phone and tell your story. Say, you know, I started coaching this year. This is where I was at. I was struggling with this and this and this, and then make another post. I started my journey with this program and I did such and such. And this is how I felt. I was introduced to this. It was awesome. And then your results you got from it. And then fast forward to now and kind of just share your story. Save that to your phone. Every once in a while, put that on your stories because there's new followers. And I feel like it's important to share your stories. I know sometimes it's hard to get on and talk all the time. People are busy. But if you put that sprinkled in there, you never know who may not know, you know, where you started. They see where you're at now. I feel like it's important to share how you started, how you were introduced to Beachbody, how you were introduced to coaching. So definitely take the time to make that. You can tweak it as your journey changes, as you get different results. But I have like 3 different storylines and I just save them. And every month, I usually post it like twice a month. And it's just something easy to put on my stories, but I feel like it's valuable and important to see where you came from and where you're at now. What else do I have on my list? So number 5, I just have invite. If you never invite to coaching, it's going to be pretty hard to get a coach on your team. And also, those invites don't always have to be cold invites. Those are people watching your stories. That's where I start. People watching my stories, people liking my posts. These are people that are considered warm market because they're watching you already. They already kind of have an idea of what you're doing. So you have to send those invites. And then two, if you've been a coach for a little while and you've signed people up over the years, make sure you're going to your Coach Online office and looking at the people that are ordering. You should be checking in with every person that is in that list. If it's a customer lead, if it's someone you haven't talked to in maybe a year, maybe someone's bod renewed, make sure that you are working with the people already involved with you, already said yes with you. Lately, I've been hopping on calls with some of my coaches, newer coaches too, and just working through that customer list. And they were like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to find new people and sent invites to all these people. And I'm like, work with the people that you already have. And that's one thing I'm really good at is when somebody's bod renews, whether that's for the quarterly, the 6-month, or the annual, I'm sending a message and saying, hey, your Beachbody On Demand just renewed for X amount of dollars. I tell them the exact amount. I say, if you'd like, we can upgrade you to a challenge pack. There's a huge sale going on right now. Right now, you're paying $40 4 times a year, which equals $160 for just Beachbody On Demand. Instead, for $160, you can get the brand new Muscle Burns Fat Workout Program, 2B Mindset, the whole program, nutrition Ultimate Portion Fix, the shaker cup, the bod ropes, like I list everything that comes, because sometimes when they see that difference, they're like, oh, wow, like I was paying $160 for just Beachbody On Demand. So make sure that you are sending those messages. I've had a lot of coaches that have people on quarterly bod and they don't even reach out to them. I'm like, what are you doing? That's an easy conversion to get them back on Shakeology, Recover and Energize. Maybe they've never tried Energize and Recover. This is a way to introduce them to those products. Maybe they're going to fall in love. Maybe then eventually they'll want to coach. So you have to continue those connections with people who have said yes with you, and also with customer leads, which I know sometimes they're hard to get in contact with, but lately I've been sending a text message. If their phone number is there, send them a text. And I did this with one of my new coaches the other day, and sure enough, she sent the message and the lady responded. She said, oh my gosh, I love the workouts. I'm down 10 pounds. I'm obsessed with Shakeology. I feel great. And I was kind of mind blown too. I was like, oh my gosh, because normally I don't even get that response from a bod or from a customer lead. And sure enough, she just signed up as a coach on her team, and she's in her bod group now. And she just didn't know that she should be doing that. So I want to tell you guys to do that too, because I think sometimes people just forget, or it's kind of an extra thing. But that should be one of the main things that you're doing before you're even posting on your stories, because they've already said yes to Beachbody. They've already invested their money, and they're more likely to say yes to coaching if they've already enjoyed the workouts. Like that could be your next top coach, you guys. So make sure to check in with those customer leads. And then finally, be consistent and be kind and circle back. Those are like my wrap up. So the consistency, that is my favorite word with Beachbody. That is why I'm where I'm at. I don't feel like I'm exceptional at leading. I don't feel like I'm exceptional at graphics or exceptional at stories or exceptional at talking or anything. I'm exceptional at consistency. And I don't feel like consistency is a hard thing, you guys. We all can be consistent. And if you're consistent with these vital behaviors, you're going to be amazed where you're at in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. I tell my team all the time, you have to commit to getting your Beachbody degree. In the beginning, the first year is the hardest. If you're a brand new coach on this call, number 1, thank you for showing up. Number 2, commit to this business. You have to be here a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I'm at 6.5 years in my business, and this is the year that everything is really exploding. Like, I've had a great business, and I would have never foreseen that, 2020 was about to be a pandemic and our business was going to blow up. You just have to keep going because you just never know what's going to happen. And also, I've had so many people come back around. I've had people watch me for literally 5 years, you guys. One of my coaches was just in the MBF test group. She literally watched me for 6.5 years, and she's killing it. Like, she signed up last October. I'm pretty sure she's going to be premier, maybe even elite this year. And she's watched me for that long, but she watched me and she knew exactly what to do as a coach. So when she signed up, she dove right in. So you just never know who's watching you. So just keep showing up, keep trucking along. One day you're going to get a message from someone that says, I've been watching you. I've seen you be so consistent. I'm ready. It just takes people time. You just never know what shifts in their life. Maybe they become a mom and they can't get to the gym as much, or maybe they really hate their job and they're like, this girl has been loving her life and showing up and happy, and I want that. So just make sure to be consistent. And the other reason why I said be kind is when people say no, don't get sassy with them. Don't feel any type of way. It's just a no, not right now. And that's okay. And I think kindness goes a long way. I'm always polite, respectful, no worries. Just send me a message if anything changes. Here's some of our free workouts. Give them a try. Let me know how they go. And they'll be more likely to come back around to you because you were not pushy, you were kind, you're respectful. So that goes a really long way in your business. And circle back. So when they say no, but you sent the free workouts, check back in. Hey, how did the free workouts go? Did you like them? And you never know, that could change into a, you know what, maybe I do want to do this program, or you know what, maybe I do want to coach. So those are the 3 things I want to leave you with. Be consistent, be kind, and continue to circle back with people over and over and over again, because you just never know when it's going to be the right time for them. So that's pretty much everything about my recruiting and my coaching style. I don't think it's anything crazy. I'm sure you've probably heard of a lot of these things before, but I think sometimes that's what you need to hear, is that it actually is quite simple. You just got to do the back work, behind the scenes work, the work that nobody really sees. They don't really know how many messages you're sending. They don't know how many people you're talking to. And it really is a probability game. At the end of the day, the more messages, the more invites you're sending, the more chances of you getting yeses and people signing up on your team. So just keep all of those things in mind. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can ask away, but that's pretty much everything I have for you guys.
That was awesome. I loved your visual, I have to say, with your notebook, because that's exactly how I operate as well. But even just like each month, and you have those 2 columns and the highlight, like, it's such a visual thing for a lot of us. So I appreciate you sharing that, because, for doing this as long as I have, those little things, I'm like, oh my God, what a great idea to be a little bit more organized. I have a quick question, and I want to make sure that you guys have plenty of time. We are going to probably try and cut this off around 10:30, 10:35-ish. So if you do have a question, make sure you put it in the chat box or unmute yourself in a minute. But Virginia, my question for you, given that you quit your pharmacy job and started working full time as a coach, can you give us, in all reality, how many hours a day that you work your business?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one, because every day for me is so different. But I would say on average, like 4 to 5 hours a day. And then I usually take at least 1 to 2 days like off. I'll post my workout videos, but then I won't do like invites and stuff like that. I would say on average, that's about what it is. But some days, if my husband has stuff going on, I won't work at all. But then some days, if he's busy and I'm at the house by myself, I'll work 10 hours. So it's all over the place, but I would say on average, like 4 to 5 hours.
Awesome. Kristen had a question. Did you see that?
Yeah, the names that I highlight are the ones that actually place their order. And then also too, beside a name, if I send a share cart, I just put SC beside their name, just meaning that I sent the share cart, once they order the share cart, actually purchase, that's when I highlight them. So if I've sent out a share cart, then I know, this person almost signed up. I really need to make sure to circle back and be like, hey, did everything work with the order? You still wanting to join us for this program? Just let me know where you're at with things.
And I was going to elaborate a little bit on when Virginia was talking about doing the, kind of your story, your evolution of your journey. I think that is such a piece that you should highlight and have on your highlights on your Instagram. And also, too, you guys, we've been talking about going live a little bit more, and that just kind of reminded me to say, Instagram, if that's kind of where you're spending your energy, like IGTV is where it's at. So you can go live, and then it doesn't stay live in your stories anymore. It asks if you want to put it on your Instagram TV. So what I've been finding to be really, really successful is when I go live and I put it on my IGTV, I either create a series, right? So you can have all these different series. They could be workout related. They could be, your story. It could be nutrition, whatever your jam is, right? But Instagram loves featuring video. And so those views, you can go see who's viewing. And you never know if you hit a hashtag or somebody shares it and then you see that view rate skyrocket. That's that many more people that you can connect with. So like Virginia was saying, she goes and has conversations with them. And then once they show an interest, that invitation is now going on her list of names. So I just thought it was a really great example to go talking about your journey and using video. Aline saying, how often do you follow up with people who expressed interest and with people you first invited?
How often? I usually do follow-ups like once a week. So I have my names on my list, and sometimes follow-ups, like I kind of look where our conversation left off. And two, if they have Instagram stories, it's not necessarily a direct follow-up sometimes. Sometimes it's me being on their Instagram stories and reacting to whatever they posted, or sending a message or commenting on their post like, hey, remember me? So usually once a week though, I'm circling back and doing follow-ups, working through that list. Sometimes if it's the coach video and I know that like they're a nurse and they express to me that they're super busy, maybe I'll wait 2 weeks. So it kind of just depends on the person, but usually about every week or two is when I'm circling back to do follow-ups. If they have ghosted me and they didn't respond to a message, I'll send max of 2 messages and just say like, hey, did you get my last message? Just want to make sure you saw it. And then if they didn't respond again, then I'll wait like a month to follow up with them and just say something like, hey, I know you were thinking about joining our boot camp last month. Would now be a better time to get started? Just let me know. Would love for you to join us. Just something like that.
Anybody else have any questions? I love the simplicity of how you approach your business. It's refreshing, because you're not telling us anything we don't already know, but just those little reflections on the simplicity of what we should be doing and the consistency behind it, has got you to 11-star and the Legacy Club. I think that is so amazing and inspiring. 100%.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about working with the people that you have. I think sometimes people are so focused on always bringing in new, which of course you do want to do, but make sure you really love on your customers and your coaches that you do have. You just have to pour belief into them. And I really feel like that's how our team recently got to 10 and 11-star, is because some of these coaches have been around for a while, but I'm continuing to pour belief. Like, you've been doing this for a while. You know how to sign up a coach. You know how to get people on your team. Like, just keep going. Make sure that you're putting in that work. Make sure you're sending those invites. So really love on the people that you do have. Because what was I going to say? Quality over quantity, right? If you're signing up 200 coaches, that's a lot of coaches for you to try to manage. But if you sign up 5 and you love on and work really closely with all 5 of them, hey, that's 5-star elite right there. So make sure the ones that really want to work the business, really be close with them, connect with them, message them often, check in with them often, and show love on their posts, all those things that they need to do. Another thing I didn't talk about, but has been working really well, is I've been having my new coaches that I sign up in an Instagram chat. I used to do it on Facebook, but the majority of my coaches are running their business on Instagram, and it has been awesome. Um, Whenever they post their first coach post, I'll share it into this group chat. I'm like, hey, look at so and so. She just put up her first coach post. Go show her some love. And now I think there's about 10, 15 of them in there. They're all like best friends now. They're all liking each other's posts, cheering them on. And then it's kind of been a ripple effect too, because once one of them hit Success Club 5, I'm like, I shout them out. And then I also ask, hey, Kayleen, awesome job hitting Success Club. Can you share a little bit about how you achieved this? And then they'll share with the group what they've been doing. And then if somebody else hits it, same thing. And it's been working really, really well.
What a great idea. Do you do a new thread every month, or is that just ongoing, and as they kind of start to expand on their own, hit emerald, do they start to fall off and go into another thread, or how many threads do you have running?
That's a good question. So I just started doing this year. The first thread was kind of like 2-3 months of coaches, and then I just recently started another one, because you kind of want to keep it around like 15, because even the one we have now, sometimes there's a lot of conversation, so I don't want to overwhelm people too much. And I also make sure that these are people that actually want to work the business. I'm not just throwing discount coaches in there, but I just say, are you wanting to work the business? We do have a new coach chat for people to ask questions as they start to build their business. If they say yes, then I add them in there. So right now I just have 2 of them going on, and the first group was from like February, March, April, and then it's been June, July. I'll probably put my August people in there too. So I just have 2 groups. So about every 3 months, start a new chat, and some of them have achieved emerald, but I've just kept the chats the same. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens when, if some start to go farther. But our team on Tuesdays, we have our team call and then our diamond call after. So I feel like that's kind of their spot to get some leadership advice too. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, and it's been working really well lately.
That's awesome. Well, I feel like you guys, this has been, I've been like taking notes, and, I think there's always one thing that we can draw from everybody that we listen to. We have so much exposure to the most incredible talent in this organization. Virginia shared a ton, but this is where you guys got to take the action now and do the things, instead of just like, okay, that was great right now, and then, hope that there's this windfall of business, but actually acting on it. And even starting simply with going back to the people you invited starting in January. Like, think how much has changed probably in their life since then. Who knows? Maybe they don't have a job anymore. Not that you want to prey on them for any regard, but I think that, reflecting back to following up with people, being super consistent is, could totally transform your business. And even going to those quarterly bod numbers, when you put the math together for them, $140 a year versus a challenge pack, with MBF for 160. What a great value that they're maybe not aware of. They might not pay attention to the commercials. So, or the emails that they get from Beachbody. They might go in their spam. So you never know. Just don't assume that they know. So you were amazing, Virginia. Thank you so very much. If you would like to hop off, you're welcome to. I know you said you had something you were going to send over, that way I could get it out to the out to our teams, if you don't mind. But I appreciate you. And team, if you guys can hang on for a sec, I was just going to do a couple of reminder things with Summit and our Summit. And then, oh my God, I'm blanking out what the other one was. Team Cup, sorry. But I don't want to take any more of your time. So Virginia, thank you again so much. We appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. After you're done your call, go send at least 10 invites, you guys, okay? And yeah, Taryn, I'll send over that video so you can share with them.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Guys, hang on real quick. I just want to do a couple reminders. As you guys know, Summit tickets are available. They're $150. So if you missed the early bird, $135. $150 for Summit next year. It's in St. Louis. You guys don't just wait and see and find out, because the prices do go up. And even the ones that have secured tickets now, they're not transferable. But if for some reason we are still in this kind of predicament that we are right now, trust that they will reimburse you. You're not going to be charged and lose money if there is no event. So I wanted to encourage you guys to do that, and also encourage you guys to go get your room reservations. Again, you can get your money back if it doesn't work out, but at least to hold your spot, because it's so hard to find rooms if you're like, okay, I want to go, right? And you regret that you didn't get that, because it's a tax write-off, you guys, in this calendar year. I'm not an accountant, but it's a tax write-off. Okay, so go get your tickets if you haven't. Lastly, Team Cup registration is all this month because we start August. So those in my organization, if you're not on a team and you want to be, please let me know. I've got a couple spots left. I always fill my team last because I want to make sure everybody's paired up and they need to be. Team Boom Squad, you guys know your drill. I know that Rachel's got you guys covered, but be sure you guys are assembling teams. And I will tell you, Team Cup is probably the best experience to be a part of in a time like this, because we don't have a new program rolling out in August, but we're still reeling off the hype of Muscle Bruins Fat. Just opens to the customers on the 27th, on Monday. There's still going to be customers that are not going to necessarily hop in right away. You still have the entire month of August and September to enroll people, and there's prizes and incentives being a part of Team Cup. I know that I vet the people that want to do Team Cup with me because I like to win. I like prizes and I like to win. So I always am saying, don't go and join a team if you're just going to sit and kind of drag the team down, because it's not fair to those that really want to hustle, because it's a team effort. You are being accountable to putting in the work. You are going to see growth in your business, like massive growth, and you guys get to celebrate and have really like a small team environment to work together, collaborate on ideas, bounce things off, get posts shared, and responses going to help with the algorithm. So a lot of really good things that happen with Team Cup. So be sure that you go and register, talk to your coach, get them, find a team, post in your page. If you're like, hey, I need a team and I don't have one, anyone got a spot? Somebody has a spot, but I just really, really encourage you guys to just give the month of August a go. It's the end of the summer, a lot of transition happening, especially in the schools. Some are going back to school, some are not. But it's a great way to bring a community of people together within our community, and even coaches that are brand new. Like, get them to really, truly understand the culture of our network and what we do and all the good that we have to offer others. So that was just a little bit that I wanted to remind you guys. But aside from that, that's all I got. So I want you guys to follow through what Virginia said, is go out and do your 10 invites and even do your follow-ups. If you haven't touched follow-ups since January, go back and do your follow-ups. All right? Janie, yes, girlfriend.
And don't forget, next week we have Brittany Kovacs, and she's gonna, she was in the test group with me, and she did a wake-up call in January about Team Cup. So she's gonna go heavy on Team Cup stuff next week. So make sure you guys are there for it. She's so amazing, so sweet. She is number 93, I think, in the company right now. And she's the new mom, 2 under 2. So if she doesn't have no excuses, guys, we shouldn't either.
Awesome. Yes, you guys, we are trying to stack these calls so you guys get value out of them, and it's not just like the same, us talking at you guys. So I do hope you guys get out of these calls and you actually put in the work, share it with your teams. They are recorded. I'll make sure that the Boom Squad gets the recording, and it'll be posted in our respective team pages as well. So with that, you guys, let's get back to work. You guys are amazing. Thanks for being on here and listening to Virginia, and I look forward to talking with you guys really soon. All right. Bye.